Wellness, a show that guides you to the best ways to get well and stay well. Here we are giving you a fair stage on which to demonstrate both traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine solutions. But we just show the different options. You are the one to decide which is the best treatment for you. Mouth ulcers aren't so uncommon, so most of us know what it is like to suffer that stinging, gnawing pain throughout the day. It's really hard to concentrate, to talk, and to eat. However, besides their discomfort, mouth ulcers could also be a sign that you are in poor health. So join us today as we will talk more about this common health issue. First of all, I'm very happy to introduce to you our doctors of today. We have with us Dr. Chao Zhendong of Traditional Chinese Medicine. 曹医生好。
你好，贺健。
And we also have with us Dr. Alan Shen of Western Medicine.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Cao Zhendong, Deputy Director of the Traditional Chinese Internal Medicine Department at Shanghai 9th People's Hospital, affiliated to Shanghai Jiaotong University School of Medicine. He is a practitioner of the Shanghai style of Yanshi Internal Medicine. Dr. Alan Shen is a dentist and chair of the dental clinic at Shanghai United Family Hospital and Clinics in Shanghai. He received his dental medical degree from the University of Louisville in the United States. Ding Ding is a famous radio host in Shanghai. His popular music show pulls in a large audience. He's also a frequent guest host on TV, and his good looks make him popular with the ladies. Still, Ding Ding has an embarrassing secret.
嗨，各位好，我是丁丁，我呢是动感101的一名音乐节目主持人啊。做我们这个广播 DJ 啊，有一个非常明显的特色，就是说话多。打个比方来说吧，每天7点到9点说话那是肯定的，2个小时不带断的。偶尔放放歌的时候呢，你还得构思怎么说。我就特别好奇啊，因为我老是发口腔溃疡，身边的人有人说你这个口腔溃疡就是说话太多引起的，当然过几天它会慢慢的痊愈，但这个频率比一般人高很多。知道养生东西方这个节目之后啊，我特别的开心。我这个工作关系造成我口腔溃疡频发，是这个原因吗？
So doctors, we can see that our patient, because he is a host, he speaks a lot every day before microphone. He thinks that his mouth ulcer problem is occupational. But I would like to ask, what are the causes of mouth ulcers?
There are a number of causes for the mouth ulcer, and in US we call it recurrent oral ulcer. And there are several reasons, and one of the major one is traumatic. And traumatic means they bite on it, but not necessarily just biting on it though, because if you talk a lot, just rubbing the tissue against the teeth, constantly moving your mouth, and sometimes you have fillings and crowns on the teeth. And by rubbing it, that probably even more easier. That will be easier to cause the tissue to slough off and cause an ulcer. Another thing is the stress induced. We see that a lot. Everybody has stress in everyday life.
Nowadays,
you know it.
Fast-paced life.
You know it. And in a fast-paced life, the stress induces corticosteroid in our body. And that can cause the tissue to thin out and eventually form an ulcer too.
曹医生，我们能不能从中医的角度，从延时内科的角度来讲一下口腔溃疡它有哪一些病因？
这口腔溃疡看上去是口腔里的病，其实是我们体内整体出问题了，而在口腔里面表现出来的这些疾病。我们一般来分呢，这个口腔里面有舌头，有口腔旁边这些嘴唇啊。
有牙齿，
有牙齿。如果这个口腔溃疡呢生在舌头上面呢，我们认为是心火，是心里面的火太旺了，心火上炎。如果是嘴唇上面这个口腔溃疡呢，我们认为是脾胃功能出现问题。心开窍于舌，脾开窍于口。就是这个道理。所以那个口和舌之间出现问题，那肯定是。 脾和心
出了问题。
我们说脾阳不足，就好比打个比方，我们的口腔是在上部，上部。我们如果是一个杯子，杯子上面有一个盖子，我们要怎么样做到这个杯子上面的盖子有水滋润这个盖子？就像我们这个嘴唇，这个口腔就是上部，就是一个
嘴唇就是盖子，我们身体就是一个杯子。
一个杯子，我们怎么样把杯子里面的这个盖子上面有水分？
把嘴巴捂住。
不是，最好的办法就是使这个杯子里面的水啊有水蒸气蒸上来，蒸到你的这个口腔上面。
Here we have 2 cups, each covered with glass. 1 cup holds hot water and the other contains cold water. Guess which glass produces more steam? The answer is obviously the cup with the hot water. In fact, the cup with the hot water symbolizes a healthy body, which maintains moistness in the mouth. The cup containing cold water, however, is much like a body that lacks yang in the spleen, and it needs supplements.
前面的一个病人，他呢就是讲话讲得多，讲话讲得多之后呢，就中气呢就外泄了。我们讲人的一口中气啊就外泄了。我们延伸的一课呢强调是保中气，
要保
元气。他话讲得多了之后呢，他的元气就耗散。
听了曹老师这个话，我倒真的有点慌了啊！以前我觉得口腔溃疡可能只是在口腔的一个小事情，但居然是和元气有关。虽然我不是很懂医学，但我从小也听到大的中国人说什么伤元气啦，元气大伤，一般没什么好事情，没10天半个月缓不过来的。而且我觉得可能是身体什么内涵深处可能有点问题，这个看来我以后要重视起来。
Our patient has recurrent mouth ulcers. Sometimes he thinks that it's a very small disease and can be ignored, but because it is recurrent, so it's very annoying. So he would like to ask 2 questions. First, is it necessary to treat them? Second, how to treat it?
Actually, for most of the ulcers, it's more annoying than really, damaging inside. However, there are also serious complications from that. But we start from the treatment for people who have occasional ulcer or people who can cause the ulcer by, like I said, trauma. You bite on the cheek and you get an ulcer. Normally, you do not need to treat that.
Yeah.
But there's some things you can do at home. It's really self-treat. The saltwater rinse, hopefully like really clean saltwater rinse, that also helps to heal faster. And hydrogen peroxide solution, but it doesn't really cure it. That's really not a cure. For dentists in US, whoever has dental laser start to use dental laser to treat ulcer. And the good thing for that is this. It really burn off the laser within seconds. It's very effective. It's kind of on the spot treatment. And it can really burn off the ulcer and cause it to heal much faster.
从我们中医的角度，我们有什么办法能够来治疗这个口腔溃疡？
中医呢是从内治和外治2个方面来治疗。首先讲外治，外治嘛，这个口腔溃疡呢已经出来了。所以呢，它首先解决就是这个疼痛的问题和这个愈合的问题。那这个疼痛的问题呢，我们中医讲，诸痛皆是火，随便它是实火、心火，还是脾阳不足造成的虚火，总归是火。是火的时间长了呢，就会成毒，毒的时间长了呢，那就变成恶性的东西。如果碰到这个口腔溃疡外治呢，一般的来讲，我们中医古代就发明了一些散剂。比如像西瓜霜啊，像烯类散之类的散剂，喷涂于这个口腔的溃疡面上。
这个好像最简单喷一下。
但是呢是治标不治本的。第二个呢是改善这个口腔的环境。我呢建议呢就是使用这个绿茶，就是隔夜呢把这个绿茶呢泡水泡好，第2天呢用这个绿茶呢漱口，就早晨刷牙刷好之后呢。就漱口。
为什么要隔天泡好呢？我当场泡一下，这个不是更加新鲜吗？
我们讲这个水泡了茶之后呢，开始呢是有热气的，一个晚上呢，这个沉淀下来呢，这个热性呢就全部都消掉了，只存留了这个绿茶里面的清凉的物质在里面。
我听懂了，你早说嘛！保持口腔清洁这个事情太简单了，就是冷的绿茶对吧？最好还是隔夜的绿茶嘛，这种是吧？我懂了，来给我一杯绿茶。这个是冷的吧？
冷的。
那是隔夜的吗？
隔夜的。
隔夜的好，不是隔夜我还不要呢。太好了， 隔的叶子都发黄了，我就喜欢这种啊。这不行啊，这个就不够凉啊，这个东西，你这隔了
怎么不够凉
啊？
都隔了3天了还不够凉。
那这个病人如果反复的口腔溃疡，那去看口腔科检查一下这口腔是有没有病变，这第一点固然重要。其实第二点要去看看他的胃肠里面有没有也类似于溃疡啊或者其他的胃肠疾病有没有啊？往往这个口腔溃疡的病人，我们临床发现，同时也有消化性溃疡。口腔里面这个溃疡要治本，还是要从调理脾胃着手。
对对
啊，我们讲这个口腔溃疡是脾阳不足，然后再看一看自己的大便情况怎么样。
哦，
如果自己的大便呢，平时呢如果老是非常溏薄的，就是老是就是拉不腹泻的，啊，这样的病人呢，往往就是脾阳不足的。脾阳不足呢，一般呢可以推荐一个保健的方子，用白扁豆，用米仁，这个或者还有大米，3个东西，就是煮粥喝。
这个可以当饭吃吗？
当饭吃。同时呢，还要讲一点，这个山药这个东西呢，一般的来讲呢，就不推荐治口腔溃疡。大家都知道，这个山药也是健脾的，但是山药不是健脾阳的，是养脾阴的。
刚才曹振东老师说的这个方子我打听过了，这个我太喜欢了，这就是药膳。中国人就是药食同源嘛，给大家看一下这几个原材料啊。那么做的时候大家要注意了，比方说薏米呢放个2两左右，差不多2两，哎，不要放太多啊。这个白扁豆也是，白扁豆要注意了，大家，比方说你今天要做的话，前一天晚上一定要把它泡开，白扁豆也放个2两吧。最后大米放多少大家自己看着吧。比方说你平时胃口比较小，那就少放一点啊。我胃口很小的嘛，那我就少放一点。好，你把原材料放完之后呢，然后你就可以去煮啦。这个白扁豆薏米粥现在已经出锅了，先尝一口粥。真是很好吃的这个普通的粥啊！我觉得这个诀窍可能在白扁豆里面，不知道味道会不会好一点。如果你期待它有味道，你就错了。白扁豆薏米粥这3个东西都属于味道不是很浓的，但你吃完之后会觉得嘴巴里很干净。我也问了一下我们的曹医生，说1周该吃几次？曹医生说1周吃2次左右就可以了。我就跟他说，那我可以天天吃吗？曹医生说好像可以。
除了吃东西之外呢，我们还要管住自己的嘴。我们要忌口的、忌辣的、忌油炸的、忌硬的、忌冷的食物。
口腔溃疡知道的呀，
你知道怎么去治疗口腔溃疡吗？
吃维生素 B 什么的。
有口腔溃疡的话，吃点维生素 B2。
对我来说，口腔溃疡好像都好得很快，所以我觉得，吃维生素 B 好像是一个很简便的方法。
I know vitamin B2, but I don't know in which kind of ways you use it.
我们的街坊里面所有的人都认为口腔溃疡是因为缺乏维生素 B2，对吗
？From the studies I heard of, the one vitamin, which is vitamin B2, cannot change the situation of an oral ulcer. It just cannot. It's in general, when we look at the tissue component and what it needs to do well and not forming ulcer, is basically need all the vitamin, especially B complex, B1, B2, and some say B12,
the
and
B family.
folate, the whole thing is important, and vitamin C as well. So at least vitamin B complex and C are all important.
吃维生素 B2 呢是一种方法，是一种武器。我们治疗口腔溃疡的方法和武器呢，现在知道的呢并不是很多。所以呢，能够有足够多的武器来全面它，来丰富它，那固然更好。所以呢，我是提倡我们延时内科有一个保健的一个方子，玉米和玉米须呢一起同煮， 熟之后呢，就喝这个汤。
You know, in general, we need good nutrition, and I totally agree with Dr. Chow about the having all-around nutrition, and I think this is so important. And I think the overall, if you have very good nutrition, it increases your immunity. It boosts your immunity. Then you will be able to handle stress better. You'll be able to be more healthy and all around. And you will probably have less ulcer in your mouth as well. But at the same time, we have to be careful is that recurrent aqueous ulcer can go away by itself within a week or so, normally. However, if you have a lot of these ulcers or recurrent at a very high speed, in other words, you healed up, finally heals today, and then 2 weeks later you got another ulcer, another 3 ulcers, things like that, or you're getting bigger and bigger, that it lasted 2, 3, 4 weeks. If that's the case, it really indicative of something's really bad underneath it. It's not a regular recurrent ulcer. And it could be related to oral cancer. That's because some manifestation of oral cancer can be in the form of ulcer.
So I think it's really an alarm here in our program that if you have mouth ulcers, if it lasts more than like 1 month or several weeks, you'd better go to see a dentist to protect yourself from having cancer in the end.
今天啊，关于口腔溃疡的问题，听了2位医生说了，还真的是觉得受益匪浅。那么西医呢，他可能觉得啊，口腔溃疡如果在1个礼拜当中能自动痊愈的话，就没有必要去治疗。总体上来说呢，它可能是人体自我调整的一个过程啊。如果你1个礼拜还不能痊愈，这个你可能就需要去看了。当然了，平时多锻炼，增加自己的抵抗力，才能让你平时少得口腔溃疡。而中医呢比较具体，你看开出了具体的方子，这个药膳1个礼拜吃2次，它不光能治疗，而且事先还能预防。总之呢，在这里感谢2位医生教给我这么多知识。
For more health information, please do join our WeChat. We will offer you some tips almost every day. You can search for our official account, ICS 养生东西方, or our ID, Ways to Wellness, or you may scan the 2-dimensional barcode on the screen.